All right, family, try this again right here with this internet. This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. All right, we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to attempt to do this again. Want to give you all each a chance, to be able to share your effects from COVID. Get ready, there might be some sad stories, some tears, so get ready for your tissues. I don't know, maybe possibly some positives out of COVID. But I wanted to go ahead and just bring people in because, I want a channel where we can learn from each other, we can grow from each other, we can do all that we should do as a people. And so many people have stories. And so I'm just going to go ahead and just recap really what I said. Basically, COVID had an effect on me. I sold 2 properties. One property we had intentions of renting out. And when the COVID hit, me and my wife, we felt though it was the best of our interest to go ahead and not rent it out because of the possibilities of people squatting on your property. After I did research, talked to the court systems to see if any of those situations would happen, what would be the recourse in evicting people. But because okay, sound is good. Thank you very much, April. Okay, all right. Because the court systems was closed, there was no other recourse I could take to be able to evict people. So with that property there, we decided we were going to go ahead and resell it. Thankfully, we did resell it because, even our realtor agent, I did not sell it myself because I did not have my license there in Ohio. I have my license in South Carolina. And we was only in Ohio for like 5 months. But in saying that, sold the house. Our real estate agent even said she was very surprised at the profit that we turned. And it showed that I got that joker at the right time. And it was also, I think and believe that I got it because I purchased it cash over where sometimes, the best deals is when people are really trying to get rid of something and they just don't have the time to sit around and wait for the typical process with the paperwork and all that there. But beautiful property, bought it, turned around and sold it after having it for 9 months, I think it was. And that's how COVID had effect. My second property basically had a renter in there. She had intentions of renting for 3 years, but because she was elderly, she had fears of wanting to rent, being in a condo around other people in a close proximity. So she wanted to pull the plug on there. Though I thought that she still could handle the rent, I tried to work with her, but yet then we got to a place to where, she would be able to pay some money for whatever it was on some of that remaining of her lease. And I decided at that moment of time, it was time for me to go ahead and sell it or to keep it because I was at the threshold of living in it for 2 years, rented out for 3 years, and reaping off the so-called capital gains tax. Look that up, family. Capital gains tax. Very important. And if you are married, you would even jump and do double flips. All right. So that's how COVID affected me. Hopefully Jacob is back in the house that he can call in. And anybody else who wants to call in, you can. I will be posting this link back up here. But yes, I want to give everybody who's interested in sharing their story to be able to share how did a COVID affect your life. Now there again, let me go ahead and fair warn everybody. There might be some stories that may be a little touching. So get your little tissues prepared because you never know when you may need it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the post. Okay, you can hear me very well. Thank you, Golden Heart. Yeah, it just takes, a little bit of ingenuity and a little bit changing up things to go ahead and make things work. So yes, I just posted in the link. I just hope that each and every one of those who are coming in, there's only 44 people here now, but guarantee you it's going to be more people because there's a lot of stories people have to share. I want to keep it down and limit it to 5 minutes. So if you have a watch, stopwatch, or whatever watch, please put it by your side because I will be off to the end. 5 minutes just to give everybody who wants to share their story an opportunity. And so I'm gonna wait and see if somebody's gonna go ahead and call in, and that we should be ready and prepared to hear those stories and see even any answers that people have that might affect you and your decision making that could also benefit you. So be watchful and also be the hearer so that you know you might be able to gain something. But yes, the COVID has made many changes. Matter of fact, I just read that the CDC of America has decided that they are on the 26th of January, effectively 26th of January, they will be stopping anybody coming in the country who has not had a COVID test. And after the 26th, if you are in a country that do not provide COVID tests and you are unable to get it, you will not be allowed into the country. So there's a possibility, as I say, possibility that you will not be allowed to come back into the country. Now, you all know that your man, not your boy, is here in Africa, and I have been chilling here and have no intentions of going back anytime soon. Never said I would not, but anytime soon. Um, and don't plan on going back to live at all. But I'm chilling here in a place that does not recognize the COVID, and I am enjoying every moment as I walk out my front door. No curfews. Matter of fact, there's people and kids ripping and running around the place, no mask, no washing his hands, and all that right there. Yeah, I know that there are those people who are probably going to call in who may have had the experience with COVID. I have not said that there is no such thing as COVID. What I am saying is that we are here in Tanzania, whose president said that they and the people prayed and fasted for 4 days, and God heard their prayers, and COVID is not an issue. So I just put the link in there for those who wants to call in. Please do. We would like to hear how has COVID affected your life. Let's see what we got here in chat room until that happens. Okay, Malkia. Hi, Mr. Go Black. Are you going to link up with Unapologetic Nomads? Well, I've already connected with the Unapologetic Nomads. Somebody told me today they are here in Tanzania. And so, interesting enough, I guess, you know, if I happen to run across them or whatever, yeah, I would link up with them. But they're busy doing their thing, and I'm quite sure they got a lot of projects and things that are going on. I'm quite sure. But if we happen to, you know, if they reach out to me, whatever, cool. But I'm busy doing my thing too as well. Yeah, thanks for even informing me on that. I've heard that too already before. Yes, I think yesterday somebody informed me. Nice pic in the background. Yeah, okay. You like the picture in the background? Yes, it's something that they had here in this apartment. Yeah. Okay. So greetings. We got some people coming in here. Come on now. We got 73 people in the chat. I know there's at least one. Averill, you was the first one who came in. You ought to be the first one to call. What? We got Jacob who is back, you all. So I love to hear his story because I missed out on it. So we're gonna add him in. Jacob, we are back. I hear I sound pretty good right now.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, you do too. Good, good, good,
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, you reminding me when I was in Kenya in 2018. I had the same issue just like you. The internet was just like it's like they reduced the speed at a certain time, and at a certain time
Yeah,
it's up there.
I don't understand that, but hey, I guess that's what they do.
So yeah, yeah, like I said, like COVID has brought some positives and negatives. I'm a registered nurse here in Las Vegas. I was born and raised in Kenya. I came here when I was 24 years old, and when I went back to Kenya, it was like what would I say? It was like a complete change because I've been to United States for 14 years, and then I go back there, I find the Chinese have taken over. Things are just pretty much
Don't say
different.
that, man. Come on, please don't say that. That's one of my videos I'm gonna be having come up. They ain't taking over. They just have a presence here.
Yeah, yeah. So, but it was a culture shock for me actually. I'm coming in thinking that, oh yeah, 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 I know, but no, I don't know. I had to sit down and humble, like, hey, all the folks you left are grown up. Things have changed, and it was a humbling experience. And just like I said, COVID has brought some positive and negatives. There's a time I was about to be laid off work as a nurse because most of the nurses here they think their jobs are secure, you know. But that time
Yeah.
they threatened us that hey, you guys are going to be laid off, and the governor opened up the state again, and all these people who are at home came rushing to the hospital, and people who wanted to get their surgeries or heart procedures, name it, they came back to the hospital. And now, and plus the COVID patients, so we were overwhelmed again. And now work became even more, and the nurses were short, and now they're starting to triple our the nurses' money. They say, hey, if you pick up more ship, we're going to triple your money, and all this and all that. And at the same time, there are people who are working in local shops or other business casinos. They've lost their jobs, and
Yeah, yeah.
they have suffered so bad. I mean, I really feel it. I really felt for them, and like I said before the video was cut off because of the sound. The people who have not been affected that much, it's a high time, especially as us Africans, we have to come together and support each other. We have to stand out. I mean, you see a brother suffering there because of finances or food or something. Just chip in whatever you can, even if it's financially, emotionally, physically, whichever you can. But that's how COVID has been with us, and it's not over yet. Everything is still the same way, because the cases are increasing and all that. But I like what Tanzania has done, and I was telling my wife yesterday when I was watching one of your videos. President Magufuli has not locked down; he hasn't shut down. And a matter of fact, they prayed. They did
They
pray.
pray.
They
Yeah.
prayed. There's no COVID in Tanzania. They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ask them. No, there's no COVID. But in Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta and the rest of the people, they have put strict measures on COVID and all that. And it's just the difference between Kenya and Tanzania is just. But Tanzania, they've really toughened up, and they that's what they believe, and it's working.
I'm gonna tell you this right here, Jacob, and people have to understand this. How you perceive something and you behave with it is you can make that whole thing grow into a mountain. You know, people could not understand when Trump said, "Why do we have to test all the people?" And you're getting all the results of these people were positive, this and that, when many of them don't even have symptoms, or those aren't even being affected. When it's only having an effect on a small number of few, whatever you give light to, you cause that thing to create and become a monster. So the people here, they're going as business as usual. Their life has not been changed. They're turned upside down. It is a beautiful thing to see that even the president Magufuli, who believed in his faith. Matter of fact, for those who don't even know, his son had COVID.
Oh
So
wow!
yeah, his son had COVID beginning on. His son had COVID. His son recovered, but then they went into a prayer. He thought of something different. Are we going to run and be scared? Because he knew my people here in this country are not like Western countries where people stock up their freezers and refrigerators. They got money saved in the bank. My people eat from hand to mouth daily. And to shut down a country would be devastating to a people. So he said, we got to do something different. So he called the Muslims and the Christians. Go pray for 4 days. Fast and pray for 4 days. Now, see, the Western world, see, their God, the Western world, I'm going to say their God. I'm not even talking about each person who was there in America, but we're talking about the Europeans' God. I've said this before, after even realizing when they created their God, is totally different than ours. They behave differently. They pray differently. They have expectations differently. They draw pictures. They make emblems and they create crosses and they do all these things that even in the Bible says you shouldn't even do. And then yet we wonder why we have no effect when we're going to pray to the Creator, because you've done follow other gods, as even the Bible say, beware of these people, for they will have you follow their gods. Now here, I'm gonna tell you, I've been by many hospitals here. It's quiet. Ain't no ambulance running around. People ain't falling out and dying and all that right there. Is there people probably affected by the virus? Of course. But I got a question for you, Jacob. You said you're a nurse, and you said y'all are inundated, overwhelmed in the hospital you work at. Please explain to me what that means, because I know that most hospitals only had probably 10 to 15 beds to deal with the sick. And yet, if you are to a capacity of 15, does that really mean you're inundated? Because they're painting a picture like, yes, there are hundreds and thousands of people coming into the hospital that are sick and we don't have nowhere to put them. But really, as your case, please share with the people how it is in Vegas, and what is the numbers like? Because that's one of the things I put in my description is share what your state, country is doing in the effects of COVID. But we'd like to hear from you as a nurse.
Oh, so in Vegas, I haven't followed much about the numbers, but I know the numbers have increased. They're not as bad as California. They're not as bad as California. And what I mean by overwhelmed is where the the thing is what they're basing on probably on the beds and the people who are coming in, and we can't take them in, and where the doctors or the hospital has to choose on who has a high probability of living and the ones who are dying. Because right now in the ICU, I see some patients who I'm like, dude, you're not gonna make it. I mean, their prognosis is very, 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 very poor. And the bed they're occupying, somebody else can take it, can be put in there, and maybe by God's grace or something, or by God's help, they can come out of it. But we have people who have been there for months, and some who are coming in, we can't take them. Yeah, we are just sending them to palliative care straight because there's no room. There's no room to hold them. And some
Your
other
COVID
hospitals,
unit,
they
your
don't have any.
COVID, what is the size of your COVID unit?
The
How many
size of
beds?
how many beds?
Yeah.
So our hospitals is pretty big. Um, we have more than I would say our unit where I'm at, we have more than 200 beds, and all of
Okay,
them are
y'all have
occupied.
beds specifically for COVID.
No, not
Yeah, I
specifically
know
for
that.
COVID.
I know you don't. I'm just saying, how many beds do y'all have in your COVID unit?
Oh, we have more than 200.
And so you have 200 beds specifically for the COVID people
Yeah, our unit, all of our unit is COVID now. Yeah,
in one hospital.
yeah, in our hospital. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. And let me ask you this, right? What is the demographics of those who are sick there? I mean, the age groups and stuff.
Oh, that's a very good question, actually. So earlier on, when we started, yeah, we were getting more of older people. I'm talking about 55 years old, and
Yeah,
most of them were coming from nursing homes. Nursing
yeah,
homes, we were getting so many of nursing homes. And right now, we are getting more of 40-year-old people, like 40 years there, younger people, we are getting them. But still, we're still getting older people. And it's weird because we have many of those people are Hispanics, Blacks, Asians, and a few whites. So we're getting about from 40 now. I would say from 35 now up there.
Now, would you say that most have preconditioned issues, health issues?
Oh yes, oh yes. We have what's making it even worse. I don't know what COVID likes. COVID likes people who are obese, like obese, really overweight, and they have especially diabetes. I think COVID is married
Yep.
to diabetes, big
Yeah.
time. If you
Yeah.
have other issues going on and you catch it, I mean, it can either do two things. You can either come out of it, and if you are really really worse previously before you caught it, there's a higher chance you're going to be on a ventilator.
Okay. Well, wow, that's great, man. I wanted to ask you those questions because this is about how COVID has affected you as well as what is your state's doing, and by you being in the medical field, people really want to hear from a tangible person in the medical field who has the experience and what is this going on, because like I said, it's the more education is better. And to know that, hey folks, if y'all, have diabetes, like I said, I have somebody close to my family who's in the medical field, and they say diabetes right there is the number one thing. COVID likes
Yeah,
diabetes.
they're
And
married.
yes, and if you're obese, then that is also plays a part.
It's a
You
big
know,
one, yeah.
yeah, it's a big one. But now I know I'm quite sure it has effect on those two who might even be considered healthy, whatever. It affects
Yes,
people differently.
yes.
So, but yeah, hey, what else you got to share with us, brother? I mean, nobody's come in yet, people. I have just put the link back in again for those who want to call in and let us know how has a COVID affected you. Uh, I haven't had a platform here open that people can go ahead and just, share about this COVID. We kept talking about COVID, but nobody really talked about, I haven't had any show like, how has it affected you, for the good or bad? I mean, if you want to look at it that way. Yeah. Uh, let's give thanks right here to Contending for the Faith. WebMD states recovery rate of colonial virus is 97% to 99.75%. So why is the world being turned upside down? Very good question. I'm not sure about those stats and all, but I'll say this right here. You know, the flu has an effect on,
Hmm.
many of people each year. And there are other things out here that people die from, and that is not taking the forefront of the news and changing of the world per se by shutting down everything. And I'm just one who I just try to be real at times. I might not be real all the time. I try to be real. A virus is a very important part of life, and one of his things is to keep the ecosystem in check, and it will take out the weak. Only the old saying we used to say, only the strong survives. When you're weak, your body will check out, and that's why you see elderly people affected. Now we're seeing people with these preconditioned health issues because, these viruses will go on and, invade you. If your body's not strong enough to fight it off, guess who wins? So, and it don't take a rocket science to understand that. I mean, so, we got to wake up in the Black community. We need to really take seriously our health. We need to make sure now that we are up on our game when it comes to our health, because this is just one sign that's showing, hey, what's going to be the next one? So, Jacob, I appreciate you coming in. Unless anything else you
Thank
want to
you.
share, nobody has come in. I mean, anything else you want to educate us on, or any other thing that the COVID has affected you in, please share, because the
Yeah,
floor
I, I
is
wish I
empty
wish
right
my I wish my wife was here because she always wants to be to participate with discussions like this.
now. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was talking to her and I say, "Hey, I was on Go Black, and would you like to come?" And they were like, "Oh, my hair is not good. You don't have to worry about it." But anyway, this one thing I was doing yesterday. I was doing one of my papers for school, and we had to watch this small video about how COVID is affected these countries that are coming up, like Kenya, African countries. And I think they were interviewing Bill Gates, and Bill Gates said something that that these countries people are gonna die more, blah 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 blah. And I disagreed with that one because you know why? Because in America we have more deaths than in Africa. And it's
Yeah.
very, very interesting how African countries and even Asian countries have dealt with COVID better than the United States. And we don't even have in Africa, we don't even have more resources as much as the way United States has. But the way we've handled COVID, yeah, it's amazing. It's really, really, really amazing because people have done their best. But in the US, it's a completely different thing. I don't understand.
I understand, but I mean, I had a well. Let's ask this question real quick. Michael O is asking the question: is that Is your hospital in a Black community, or is it close to Black community?
Oh yes, we have. I'm in what we call people call the hood.
Yeah.
I'm in actually a low income area, and we have Black people, Hispanics, and also we have also white people. The patient population we get are people who we can even get homeless. We can get people who are just the neighborhood around. We get the people from there, and we're
Yeah.
not in a fancy area or whatever. No. It's a very big hospital, and the people we get are people of low income, and
Yeah.
and we also get people from Arizona because our hospital has all the facilities that some other places in Arizona they don't have. So they
Yeah.
fly people 2 hours for surgeries and other stuff. But let me go back to that obesity kind of thing we were talking about. We have these patients in the ICU. We can even barely turn them. We have to get like 4 to 6 people to turn a patient and put them prone so that they can stay like that for their lungs to heal. And like you say, we really have to watch ourselves. We really have to do whatever we can, especially us. We don't want us to be, us, especially Black people, to be used as for statistics that, oh, we are the ones who are catching this disease. I mean, they're using us a lot, and this has to change. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
we can do our part, like take walks, try as much as possible, eat healthy, we can change this. We can change this.
You know, I had a conversation with a brother in Kenya, and he was just sharing with me his opinion, and I was sharing my opinion on why Africa has succeeded basically in this whole COVID scare. Now, his point was that he felt as though that because we are close knit to each other, we live in places to where maybe even there are more bacterias and
Yeah.
pollution and stuff like that. It's why we might have the immunity or sense or stronger body sense for that.
Yes.
And I said, no, man, no, I disagree with that. Even though I don't even like to use the word disagree. I said, man, it's taking away the credit from us. We are a resilient people who has a strong gene. The Europeans have thrown everything at us, the Ebola, the HIVs, and they're still amazed at, man, how resilient our bodies are. We can live in close proximity. And like the Europeans did in their history, when they did that in Europe, they had the Black Plague, but we haven't encountered such things like that in our community because I believe no different than they know. And if I had to bet, even you think about the slavery, right? Check this out. During slavery times, do you know when a white person got sick, what they did? They would always put a Black child at the foot of their feet, lay them across their feet, because they had the belief that we had a physicality or us that we were able to extract or pull out sickness out of them. That's why I sometimes question and raise my eye of, is this something why they even need us around? Are we one of those that are part of the ecosystem to where we just, are the filters of them? Just a thought and an idea. But I believe that, yes, because we've taken on a European eating habits, its bad ways in America and some other places around, we become more sickly. We are living in cold climate areas. We have a lack of vitamin D. We are becoming obese because we're eating diets that they just eat and it doesn't agree with us. And so my thing is, yeah, as time goes on, it just catches up with you. And I think it's caught up with the Black community, the China man, the Mexican. Why is it just hitting these more of the minorities than you said that the whites? Now maybe your hospital, because it's more in the hood, you don't probably get as many whites, but it does say something for that though. Hey, I appreciate you, Jacob. I'm gonna let a couple more people in, man. You have a good
Thank
night.
you.
All righty.
Thank you.
Let's go to my man here, Bohemio.
Good day.
I
Good
was
evening,
squeezing.
brother.
What's happening, bro?
Oh, fine.
How's it going?
Yourself? Fine, fine.
Good.
It's very interesting what they
Yeah.
are doing. What they are doing in Tanzania. It's very interesting. What I would like to see is to have the mortality statistics of Tanzania pre-COVID, so 2016, 2017, 2018, 19, 2020, and 2021, so that one can see if what they are actually doing is working. It has to be backed up by statistics so that we can actually, come down to it. Hey, maybe this stuff is working. I don't know.
Yeah. How has COVID affected you? Because I want to stay on topic, how has it affected you? Go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
Well, it's terrible. In the Netherlands, it's terrible. It's disrupted their daily life, but most people are not abiding by the basic instructions that has been stipulated, and by that means, I think that it is spreading much more widely if you compare it to Asian countries, whereby people can adapt much more to the recommendations that have been stipulated.
So you're in the Netherlands. It's wintertime there. Have you heard anything like the flu, or is this COVID taking precedence? Is it this everything COVID now?
Everything is COVID. Everything is COVID. Yeah. You barely hear the regular stuff that you would have heard other years. They pretty don't talk about them. It's a bit weird because when you listen to the press, folks, everything is upside down. You can't tell what is the truth and what is being made up. It's all a bit weird.
Yeah. Let me give shout out to Q for your giving. Q. These constructive conversations are a breath of fresh air. Appreciate that. Yeah, but we got a minute left with you because I want to make sure everybody has about 5 minutes so we can keep getting channeling people in. So, because everybody, this is a platform that we can now, we're touching each other now across the globe and hearing what's going on. And so the Netherlands, basically, have they locked out down and the borders are,
Yeah. We are locked down. You can go outside, walk during the day, go to the supermarket and things like that, but the percentage of people using masks is low. Yeah. It is required when you go inside a shop and closed off areas. Yeah, it is required. But the will of the people themselves is majority don't want to wear this stuff, and it's bad. The hospitals are almost full. At least that is what you hear. The hospitals are almost running full, and the death rate is high. If I'm to believe the news, which I think it is. I think a whole lot of people are being affected, So yeah, it's principally it's just like across the whole Europe, that's the situation that we have. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna pass it on to Box. You can sit around if you want to put yourself on mute for me, please. Box, I'll go ahead and unmute you, brother. How you doing, man? Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Alaikum assalam.
COVID, man, honestly, just to talk from my perspective on it and how it has affected me and my family, it hasn't really affected me negatively. I believe that it's coincidence. Nothing in the world is coincidence. And at least for the last 400 years, we've seen every 100 years there's a pandemic of some sort. And it's just and there's also coincidence that heart attacks, seizures, cancer, all those death rates have gone down and COVID has went up. So it's kind of like, is COVID-19 the cure to all these other ailments that is affecting our people? I don't think it could be. I think that it's our frequency and the things that we're ingesting. COVID-19, the energy that it has produced has allowed me to get into stuff like this from watching you, from seeing your art, allow me to look at the phone and then come up with my own, you know,
Wow.
stuff like
Let me
that,
see,
where I didn't even
hip
know I
hop.
could draw. And now I'm drawing stuff like this. I'm making my
Wow.
music. It's been a blessing. My business, my home business has been flourishing.
Great.
I feel like this time has allowed me to be the man I'm supposed to be. It's allowed me time to take care of my kids on a more understanding aspect, where I'm letting them be themselves. Like, we all came here knowing who we were, who we are, who we're supposed to be, until somebody start putting their own ideologies into our head. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know one person that came out here like, I want to kill this person, or I want to do this. Like, no, the circumstances that they've been forced into have made them into that monster. Babylon has
Mm.
turned them into that monster. And so I think this time is just, it's amazing. It's amazing energy just to have all that, see all the chaos outside. You know, if the chaos doesn't resonate with you, then maybe you're not a chaotic demon, and it can allow you to get more spiritual in tune. Like, honestly, I was watching you earlier when I was driving. I even be watching you when I be driving sometimes. I was like, let me not call in right now, but I took my son jogging. And since I started watching you and started I've been on this spiritual search and consciousness seeking mission for some time now. And right before COVID hit, I got out of incarceration, and I was renting from my mom. I had my family there with me, and it's always been a weird relationship with me and my mom. Like, to cut the story short, though, she ended up taking my rent, kicking me out. Right, not to talk bad about her, and nothing, like, much love to her, but facts is facts. So I just left it at that, because that's my mom, out of respect. And I went through like a very horrible time, like, because I was torn in between the streets and how I knew how to survive and how I know I need to be surviving. And I was homeless. I bought a van. I had $1,000. I bought a $600 van and converted that thing into like a mobile home for me and my 3 kids and my wife. And had no license plates though. No, I had
Mm.
enough money to get the van, but not enough to get the license plate. But I got 2 cars. So I'm literally taking our 2 cars everywhere and covering the license plates with my Altima to hide it at night while we sleep in it. So I'm just trying. God bless me so gracefully for me just absolutely giving all my power and all my, what I thought was me doing it, to my creator. And doors start opening for me financially, just all different type of scenarios. I didn't know that I could have my own business. I was out there selling bracelets and chocolates. Compton, young Compton dude, like, you know, enemies, like my enemies could ride down the street and see me selling some candy outside, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
serious
Yeah.
like that. But I didn't care. Like, I just knew that I didn't have another opportunity
You
to
got
let
30
this
seconds,
blessing go
brother.
by.
30 seconds. I got everybody on the clock. Yeah, I hear you though. I hear you.
Okay. Yes, sir. I just wanted to tell you, COVID's been amazing for me. And I think that it could be amazing for whoever lets it be amazing for them, about
Yeah.
focusing on your frequency. Yesterday, I took my son hiking and we found this. It's called purple jade. It's called the angel stone.
Okay.
Stuff like this been happening as I've been getting in tune with what your frequency is. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Box Man. Hey, definitely, man. Enjoy your story. Definitely, there'll be a time that you definitely can share that, even in a length of time. But just, I want to go ahead and just keep it rolling. All right. Appreciate you, man. You take care,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Thank you.
You're doing great things, man. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. All right, my man Paul is in the house. What's up, brother?
Thank you. I'm a Ghanaian. I live in London.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me? Okay, brilliant. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I live in London. And I would say, in many ways, we are more England is very laid back. The first wave, we didn't have much lockdown. It was like everybody have to exercise their own wisdom, what you're doing and what you're not doing. And it was okay. Life was okay. But the second wave, now we now have police on the street stopping people, asking you, where you're going to, and finding people and all that. And there will be some really unfortunate incident whereby people were stopped because they were accused of going picnic. I mean, we were allowed to go out for exercise, but not to socialize, which is very strange because how can you tell two persons on the street whether they are socializing or they are exercising? So that has been the case, and it went all the way to the House of Commons, and then now the police has come down. On a personal level, I would say I'm a lorry driver by profession, and the roads are much quieter. And I work for Royal Mail, which is the post office, and we get a few bonuses every now and then for COVID risk for being frontline staff. We class as key workers. So for me, I don't have my complaint about COVID. And hopefully I'm flying out to Ghana next week. And I got to take my COVID test before I can get in the plane. That's just my only problem, because you got to be COVID free before you can step in the plane. And on top of that, you have to pay. You have to pay when you get to the airport at Kotoka International Airport, and it's quite a lot of money, $150. That's basically all my pocket money going on.
Ghana. Yeah.
Yes, that's quite. I mean, if you are Ghanaian, you pay, I think, 20 cedi, something like that.
Okay, that's nothing. Yeah.
If you're in Ghana, you're taking your test, you pay like 20 cedi. But if you are coming from abroad and you're coming out of Kotoka Airport, it's $150. I think it's not fair, but what can we do? On a more personal level, I've been following you for month and month and month, and I have to say it's quite surprising how you look different without your beard. I follow you on the street of Soweto, Soweto in Accra, and it was just awesome. Where you were going about and showing Ghana in a totally different perspective. I mean, I've been a diasporan for the past 30 years. Been away from Ghana for 30 years. Though I keep coming every now and then, and you show us Ghana in a totally different way that we, I mean, seeing Ghana through the eyes of an African American was a different experience, and it's quite rewarding. And it's really sad that we lost you to, well, where are you now, Tanzania? Because as I follow you in Rwanda, and then you were in Kenya, and now you are in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We just hope you settle down eventually. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see. I don't see anytime soon as far as settling, but who knows? But I definitely will be back in Ghana because my wife haven't been, and I got family there. I got a Ghanaian family there. I tell people there.
I saw your video. I saw the cookie and how you nearly got stoned in the market in Agboglushi or wherever it's called.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, Paul. We're gonna move it on to our man Q Comfort, and appreciate you. You hold it down, stay warm out there. Hey, I know it's cold in them Western countries, so hey, I'm loving it here. Look, I got so people know I ain't got COVID wiping my face. I'm up here, I'm in the beautiful heat of Tanzania. I love the heat, and I've always said, if I'm not sweating, something is wrong. So hey, appreciate you, Paul. All right, Q.
Hey, greeting. Could you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, man. Thank you for your giving. If that was you,
that was me. Yeah.
Okay.
Greetings from Baltimore to everybody. So how COVID has affected me? Well, I quit my job like right when it first started because they were cutting hours or whatever the case because people were spooked. So I just decided to step out on the limb. I mean, I've been having my own company and working, moonlighting, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just go out, step out on faith and see what happens. And you know what? Best year of my life. I've never seen this much money ever. And outside of that, yeah, man, it's crazy. Outside of that, with the homeschooling, we're actually a lot more hands-on. Well, we've been always hands-on with our children. with their education. But now we're actually getting a chance to like speak with the principal and the teacher more consistently, other parents. You know, we're helping out other parents who might have issues with the technology, you know, that their kids are using to go to use for their educational purposes. So I think that with this, because I'm a glass half full kind of guy, that's one of the pluses benefits that I've seen is I think communities are actually getting a little bit tighter. People are getting to know each other a little bit better. One of the other things I've noticed is in the Black community, a lot more of us have been participating in the stock market and things like that. I'm seeing a lot more businesses pop up, you know, in our communities, and I'm seeing Black people actually starting to take finances and just wealth in general a lot more seriously these days. And I think that we could kind of owe that to COVID-19. Now I know that the you know, it's definitely real and people are definitely dying. But you know, if we focus on that only, well, yeah, we should focus on it. But if we're only focusing on that, then we're not going to focus on what the you know, the blessings that came from this particular situation. I think it was actually a game changer, a good opportunity for us to hit the reset button, and I think it's working. Like for my family, you know, my wife is from Tanzania. She actually told you to hit up our cousin, Evolution Motorsports, in Dar es Salaam. He has two of the biggest garages in Dar es Salaam, owned by a Black guy. Please check him out. But we actually bought property back in
tell her to send that to me again.
Yeah,
man, I got some emails and I try to save a man, and I just, you know, yeah, tell her to send it again to me.
Yeah, will do. But yeah, I was actually in Tanzania last month. Well, I just came back last week. I was there for a month. You know, we were checking out properties and things like that. And I'm going to Gambia in March to do the same thing. So, you know, because I didn't allow this situation to kind of put the kibosh on things, and I saw what the opportunities were, and, you know, and the lanes just open right up, I just hit that gas pedal, man. So, you know, we do what we got to do to be safe, of course. You know, and of course you got to take the right precautions, wear your PPE when you're going out and things like that, because, you know, you don't want to get caught slipping. But I think that, you know, we should use this opportunity to elevate ourselves, because this is a once in a lifetime situation. I mean, even with the stock market, bro. If you wasn't invested in that during this situation, I don't know what to tell you. But I'm, you know, so that's kind of my perspective on it and what I see.
I appreciate that, man. You know, what you're saying, can y'all hear me? Some people are saying my volume is low. Is my volume low to you?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, you know, what you said was profound, because, you know, if really when life situations hit us, I think we're probably the most ingenuitive type of folks who knows how to deal with adversities.
That's
and
a fact.
Just think outside the box and figuring out what can I do next. We have done that for years in these Western countries of how do I now make ends meet, when one, that, you know, hey, you might not got a job, two, you might not be getting paid enough, you know, and, you know, you have these things that keep you out. You know, my credit ain't good because they say I got to have this amount of credit, or, you know, I can't get a loan for this. But we have a way of knowing how to get through things. And what you're saying is that, you know, hey, it was a positive effect on you because you were able to jump out there on faith and able to go ahead and take some risks to where you found for yourself, you profited more than you ever expected. So we appreciate that, man, just sharing that with the people. And hopefully that's motivational to people.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
People,
Well,
thank you.
Go ahead.
I appreciate you.
All right, man. I'll be watching. Take care.
Yep, reach out too, man. Stay in touch and let your wife know. Send that back again, and I will reach out to her relative.
All right, cool, man. Take care. Keep doing what you do.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So, boy, Emil. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah. What I asked you earlier on, I have always been wondering to get statistics on the science behind what they are doing in Tanzania. Probably you might not have that information, but if you have any lead that points to where I can get such information, That would be very, very interesting. I am somebody who always likes to get to know the science and the statistics behind, what is going on. So that is interesting.
Yeah, Tanzania took the step where President Magufuli, he did his own testing on a sheep, a goat, and pawpaw, which is a fruit, and sent it into the his laboratories here for their people to test it, and they came back positive. 2 of them came back positive. Now, that was what raised his eyes when it came to the validity of this so-called COVID testing. How does a goat and how does a fruit, wind up becoming positive on that right there? Statistics, I'm not really a statistics guy, because
Sure.
when I took statistics in school, college, the data only has to be so small, few in between. All I have to do is take a poll of a certain number, and I can go ahead and build a case off of that. Whether it's asking and inquiring from 5-6 people, and then go ahead off of that and create a stat off of it, and say this is how it applies across the board. So I'm not really big on stats, because sometimes they're not an exact measurement, but I guess it can give us an idea.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the world kind of doubts what Tanzania is doing, whether it is working. I don't know whether it's working or it's not working, but it would be nice to have some statistics to back what they are doing, so that one can see, hey, they have achieved herd immunity or not, or whatever, So that's what I was thinking. Okay, if one will know where such a governmental statistics will be to show, the mortality rate over the years compared to the past 2 years, so that one can see, hey, these guys are really onto something. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah,
Okay.
The rest of the world would never give us credit. They don't care what we doing over here that's different. They will call us crazy. They're gonna call us ignorant, just like they call in Tanzania. President Magufuli, that he's going to cause a great big death rate, because he is ignoring and also falsifying and sending in fake information on this whole COVID. This is what they do. And so my thing is that, they will never embrace, let alone admit, our accomplishments in society, and all of these ideas and inventions and things that we have contributed as well as given. They always take the credit. And so, I'm quite sure President Magufuli doesn't care what they think, because like I said, here they're doing business as usual. So ladies and gentlemen, I have put back the link back in here for those who wants to share. How has COVID affected you, either for the good or the bad or the indifferent? Please call in, because I believe that our stories can help motivate and encourage other people, as well as those who may have had a tough situation in COVID, to let you know that there is hope, there is still life after COVID. And so please go ahead, chime in. The link is in the chat and all that. But yeah, the COVID has affected everybody, to whatever degree you want to call it, whether it's the good or the bad. Like I said, for myself, it has had an effect on me, as well as effect on where I'm sitting here in Tanzania. I'm supposed to be traveling around Africa, but I'm right here in Tanzania, sit back, chilling, no curfew and all that right there, waiting to see what the rest of the world, or the countries in Africa are going to do when it comes to the next issue, which is the vaccines. And that is something that I want to make sure that I don't get myself caught in the mix of this big charade of the vaccine, pushing the vaccine and all. And so I try to be traveling as cautious as possible. So COVID also has an effect on me, and what it has done by landing me where I need to be, I call it, which is a good thing, as well as me really considering the direction in my move that I go next. So we got Fabe in the house right now. How we doing, brother? How's COVID affected you?
I'm doing pretty good. Go Black. I've been watching you. I'm a Ghanaian originally. Just like my man, I've been gone from Ghana for a while. And honestly, I work with the federal government, the U.S. federal government. I'm in Germany right now, talking to you right now in the house. I'm attached to the civilian side. I teach, the quote unquote gifted advanced students.
Yeah.
And we just went to online education. We started back with brick and mortar, but of course, Germany, we're now on lockdown, so we got to follow the German, the German law. I'm sure you know because you were in the military. I actually work at the Air Force. I'm in, I don't know, close to 3 years. I'm in Spandalen.
Okay.
I used to be in Heidelberg, then I got transferred down to Spandalen.
Okay.
So for me, COVID, really, I'm happy COVID is happening because I also do trading online. Like the man that was on here, Cube, was talking about that, stock market. When I moved to the United States, that's the only thing that really caught my attention. How do people make money in the West? So for me, when I was watching TV, I always see numbers running around the screen. I'm like, what is this? So when I figured out that's what most white people make money, I wanted to learn on my own. I didn't go to school to learn. I mean, I got 3, college degree, So, but I wanted to do for myself. And now I make more money than the federal government pays me. So this COVID for me is a blessing. I get to sit at home, do my little online, and get on my charts, and make me some money. And of course, I'm
What
getting
is it
ready to
you
retire.
do? What do you do?
I trade currencies, trading my
Okay.
mostly gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I trade
Yeah.
gold, and I'm like, I'm making more than they pay me every month trading.
Yeah.
So, and I always tell like my wife, you can have the best job. All I look at is a golden handcuff. If it's not yours, it's a golden handcuff. They can tell you, hey, we don't have nothing for you. So I'm glad it gave me opportunity to, put some money aside to be able to trade. But at the end of the day, it's got to be my own. So
Yeah.
honestly, I'm thanking COVID, but what people don't understand is this COVID thing. Me personally, I think it's a cover up because we are getting ready to change from fiat money to cryptocurrencies, and that's going to be around the world. And everybody's paying attention to COVID, but in behind big banks and governments, they are doing some dealings that the poor people will never get caught up because by the time we realize prices are going to be too high and you ain't got no money to get in the game. So I'm like, okay, stay there and try to whine about how much you're gonna get, this and this and that. This COVID is real, but it's also a cover up. It didn't just happen.
Yeah. It's big money.
The only for me personally, the only illness I believe is true naturally is cancer, because that's why they've never found a cure to. All of this other stuff is created to make money. That's my belief.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personally. So yeah, it's I thank COVID because I get time to really focus on my trading.
So
For me,
what is Germany doing as a whole? Do they got y'all on lockdown, curfew?
yeah, Germany is a lockdown. I mean, you can go to the grocery store and things like that, but schools are shut down up to at least February 15th. That's when they're gonna meet again to see whether or not what the situation is and what they're gonna do from on. Yeah. So for me, COVID is hey, be honestly, I don't like the cold. So I don't have to get out and get in the car in the cold, try to go to somebody's job. I like being in my house, honestly.
Hey, it's so funny because all 3 of y'all right now who's sitting on the panel is right there in the European, up there in Europe. I don't know how y'all deal with the cold. That's why, when me and my wife had moved from South Carolina back up to Ohio, I said, yo, babe, hey, I'll be in Africa. And so I don't know. I just can't stand the cold weather, man. I just can't deal with it. So yeah, man.
I can do it myself. I've always I always go back to Ghana every summer. It's because of COVID last year that I didn't get to go, but I've always gone. As soon as we out of school, I go to Ghana and I stay for 2 months. I come back and work, and I'm back to Ghana because for me, there's not any better place as far as weather goes than African countries. I hate the cold. I can't stand the cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, in about a year, I'm getting ready to move back to Ghana and live my life. You know,
Yeah, that's
that's
fine.
another thing I wanted to ask. I know we got a lot of, African American and things like that. My house is built in Ghana. I don't have to pay no rent when I go there. I don't. I dug a borehole. The only thing I need to do is put my solar, and that's it. I don't need to worry about paying
brother.
$2,000, $3,000 for a house. That's not
Yeah.
even worth it in America.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on, man. Hey, much success to you and yours, and you take care, brother.
All right, appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I think
Thank you, brother. I
you
appreciate
opening a lot of people's eyes. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, we need some ladies coming on here. I see a lot of ladies doing a lot of sidebar conversations out here. Travel Lady 68. We got Veronica out here, Caroline out there, Belinda out there. Hey, call in, ladies. We need we got Aaliyah who just timed in. Aaliyah, you need to show your face, please, first before I let you into the chat. But yes, you ladies, where you at? You are part of the society of our human race, a very important feminine energy that we all need to hear from. Aaliyah, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I've been waiting for the feminine energy to come in.
Well, I'm here. I'm here. It's cold where I'm at. It is 35 degrees. So, yeah, as far
Where,
as
where,
with
where
I'm
are
in
you?
New Jersey. I'm in New
Okay.
Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just actually heard I just caught you live and
Yeah.
I had to chime in. I'm in the car. I wanted to call in before I ran in the house. But how COVID has affected me, I'm gonna be honest, I've been blessed.
All
I've
right.
been blessed. Once it started, I mean, so I'm a nurse full time and I do real estate. I'm as an agent part time. I'm an investor, a real estate investor. Also, I just started investing in stocks. I've been making money hand over foot, and all of and within nursing because it's in such high demand, and with what's that, with stocks and my real estate. When everybody was complaining about COVID, I had people telling me, oh, I wouldn't get into real estate right now because the market is going to crash. I purchased me a 3-family home,
Yeah.
and then so I've been doing good. But then I started, once COVID hit and we were on quarantine, I started watching a bunch of videos. You came up on my feed, the Bag family, a couple of other people. And now I'm like, I gotta go black to Africa. I'm ready to go. It's just, other than that, everything has been really good. I mean, I can't complain. I feel like, you can either look at this as an opportunity of as an opportunity to make things good for yourself, or as something to be stressed about. And I'm gonna just, make it an opportunity for myself to better myself. I'm closer with my family, and stuff like that. I mean, everything has been pretty good.
That is great. I tell you, I'm hearing some very good stories tonight, or I was expecting to use a little tissue tonight because maybe hearing the sad stories, and my hat's off to those who may have lost loved ones who might feel this is just too sensitive to share with people. But for the most part, like again, hey, sometimes we're confronted with these life situations, and it sounds as though that many people are benefiting off of this, especially us brothers and sisters. That makes me feel very, very good about knowing that it hasn't set many of us too far back. I know that being real, there are those who had little or little to none that maybe they're even capitalizing off the stimulus checks and the unemployment, because I know people who definitely receiving unemployment and receiving more than probably their job they was getting paid. But yeah, Leah, I appreciate you coming in and sharing your story. Much success to you. When you plan on coming to Africa? Hello? I guess you want to unmute yourself. Building wealth. What's happening, my man?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good, good, good. How has COVID affected you?
I'll say it has affected my business in America bad, but it's a big opportunity in the stock market, especially for beginner investors for option trading. So that's what I've been looking closely into and been keeping afloat by
Yeah.
using stocks.
Okay. Okay. So how were you able to learn and recover? Are you recovering from the losses, or are you just you're coming up with different ideas, or what?
Um, I'm basically recovering from a loss. I started to learn about stocks like basically in the beginning of 2020 before the pandemic hit. Then when the pandemic started to come, then I started to learn. But I learned more about option trading than stocks itself. Instead of buying one stock at a time, option
Yeah.
trading, option trading provides you to buy one contract, and in that one contract you have 100 stocks.
Yeah.
So it's more lucrative, but it's complex. But whenever you get to understand it, you can make a lot of money instead of buying one stock at a time, and it's a long term instead of a short term.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
what is your plans here now? For where are you at right now? You living?
I'm in Kentucky right now. I'm still in the U.S., but I'm planning on heading out to at least um, probably maybe Kenya. I was thinking of Gambia, in the Gambia, maybe to go and take a look, because I'm definitely gonna want to move my business to Africa. Is because I'm a landscaper and also a window cleaner, so that's a lot of jobs that can you know opportunities that I can look into and
Hey, bro. Hey, I saw man, guys, who's window cleaning, man. This big tall building next to my hotel, right? These
mhm.
jokers, man, were on scaffolding, and I mean taking the board and taking it and lowering it to the next level while they stood on the side, lower it, and then go down. And I'm like, man, they was about 30 stories up. And I said, how do you get a scaffolding, to go all the way up that high? Who does that? We do it a little differently with the rope, and
Mhm.
kind of go ahead and bring ourselves to each level. But man, dang, whoo, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully I can get the guts to do that type of job, do that type of work. Right now, I'm mostly doing just on feet and a little bit of like, ladder work up to like 2 to 3 stories. But
yeah.
I want to get into that because that's a lot of money. But not only that, but real estate in Africa is because it's just like buying into a stock. You buy in low, you hold on to it for a while, and then you sell it off. And then, but
Yeah.
instead of selling it off, why not rent it or lease it out? And I'm pretty sure not the stock, but the real estate game is quite similar in Africa as it is in America. Besides, is there taxes in Africa for real estate?
In certain countries, yes, there is.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, so I got to pick and choose because I don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta pick and choose, man. But it's totally up to you. Do your research on that, brother, and
Hmm.
I'm quite sure you'll find. Really, man, when I inquire about taxes, they're really minuscule. They're really, I mean, you talking about 30, 40, $50, man. I mean, and annually. I mean, for certain countries, I'm not sure all. I haven't been to all,
Okay,
but I definitely have inquired. So,
so
yeah,
it's not
man.
too
Hey,
much. That's a good thing.
yeah, it's not too much, man. But you know what? Africa follows the suit, of the Western world. I mean, and it's growing leaps and bounds. And so, matter of fact, people were telling me in Kenya they're in talks right now about establishing a tax system on
Mm.
property. And so, you know, those days are coming. They're coming.
Mm. and
Yeah.
and and that'll be fine too. The way I look at it too, and how you can win even with paying taxes in America, even abroad too as well. Whenever you own your house, you put all those expenses, even the taxes, inside of the rent. Whenever you rent out or long term or however you want to do it. So that's a way to get away from taxes and stop paying them.
Well, I mean, you better do your homework. I'm
And
gonna tell you, I'm in the real
mm-hmm.
estate game, and I tell you right here, man, there's many people who fail because they didn't put that pen to the paper. And yeah, you're right. Depending on where you are, there are some people who pay taxes to where it just pushes you out of the area of trying to rent your property. You know, I know expensive places
Mm-hmm.
like New York, New Jersey, California, and them places there whose taxes they're paying 10 to 12 to $15,000. I'm gonna say even Ohio in certain areas, man. I mean, goodness, I'm gonna say Gahanna. Gahanna is an area, man. Taxes are ridiculous. You barely can
Mm.
even rent a house unless a person bought that house years ago to where if they have a mortgage on it, the taxes will stand in the way of at least, you know, you got to put that tax in. Because, for instance, let's just say your tax is $1,000 a year. I mean, $1,000 a month. Well, shoot, you know, you got to start with $1,000 a month on top of the rent. Now, how much now are you going to add on to that to get your
Mm.
money out of the house? You know, and don't have a mortgage because that means you got to add that on top of that. Which means then now who's going to rent a house for
Yep.
$2,700, $3,000, $4,000 or $5,000? But there are houses out there for rent like that, and there are people who rent them. You know, I look, my last two houses I
Yeah.
haven't even bought. I've rented them because it was cost effective for me to rent the property than to buy. But then on the other side too, you got places there, man.
Yeah. And you don't have
You'll take
to. You don't
loss.
have to.
Yeah, I think you're breaking up.
Yeah. And plus, you gotta. You gotta take. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah. You gotta take the parables around the area, around that vicinity, the square mileages, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, to consideration before doing all that. So I agree.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and try to bring somebody else in, y'all family. I just put the link in. I'm gonna put it back in again. Thank you a lot, my brother. Hey, much success to you in your journey over here to Africa. If you decide to come, please do your homework. Please don't follow those who sit there and want to get you to come over and without you doing your homework because you might be surprised. Lafayette said, if you pay mortgage, taxes are included in the contract. Au contraire, sister, they just may not be because you have an option to pay it within your mortgage or you can pay it separately. Yeah, there are options for that. But you're right, you can include the taxes in your mortgage if you so choose. But the taxes are always there and they will always be there. Pay off your mortgage, taxes are still due. Taxes don't end when your mortgage ends, taxes will continue. And a lot of people don't even know that. You know, a lot of people don't know that. How has COVID affected you, family? I'm needing some more sisters to come in here. Please share. All right, you know, that we need to hear from you so people can know, depending on where you're part of the country or the continent or another country, what are your country, not even how it affected you if you don't want to share that. What is your state, country doing right now? Are you in lockdown? Do you have curfew? Do you feel closed in? Please share. The link is in the chat room waiting on you. But since people are not calling in, let's see what some people are saying because I think this is an important subject that for us who have now are about to embark on 1 year of the COVID scare. How are you doing? How are you surviving? I know I had to make a left turn and a right turn since COVID, you know, and I'm just, you know, people want to hear how other people doing. You know, we hear the news and all that right there, but we didn't get a face-to-face uh, uh, information from an individual who's sharing their story of how COVID has affected them. All right, so please go ahead. If you want to go ahead and chat and call in, please do. I know we got some sidebar conversation. Um, What else we got here? What does it say? Homeless, please help. Lost everything from COVID. All right, Shane. Bootin. Uh, You lost everything. Will you call in then, Shane? You might be the first white person, man, on my chat. You call in. If you gonna be in the chat begging, let's hear what you gotta say. Look like you're white. You might, I'm sorry, you might be a light-skinned brother out there. I don't know. Anyway, mothers who empower other mothers. Okay, agree. My children wants to visit the motherland, Africa too. What are you doing about it, mother who empowers other mothers? Are you empowering yourself to go ahead and take that leap out there? Let us know. Africa is way by far better than anywhere else. Uprise, you want to come call in. Why is Africa is way better, far better than anywhere else? Please. You know, it's kind of quiet out here. Nobody wants to go ahead and call in and let us know how COVID has affected you. You know, yeah, I see. Let's see. What's up, my brother? Go Black. Blessings from Chicago. Okay, Chicago. What part of Chicago? You dig entertainment. So I'm going to give a couple more minutes here. If nobody wants to call in, we can go ahead and come down to just a question and answer. Yes, I am in Tanzania. I am here in Dar es Salaam. For those who do not know, I will be parked here until further notice. Because of the COVID, that I've decided that I am going to sit tight here in Tanzania. The only place in the world that has no COVID testing, and also says that God has healed the people here. Abdul Lanyon, please show your face while you're in the back room so then I can go ahead and let you in. Yes. If you show your face, please let me know so we can know that there is no others than brothers that we want to hear from.
Hello, go Black to Africa. How are you?
It's happening, Abdul. Everything's good, brother.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I'm trying. It's not like you. I'm not doing 100% okay.
You're not what?
I say I'm not 100% like you over in Africa.
Where are you?
In the UK.
Oh, okay. You're in the UK.
UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How has COVID affected you, Abdul?
It's terrible.
Please share.
Yes, because they just discovered another strain. That one is much deadly than the corona. So
that's what they reported. Another strain. I heard something about that.
Yeah, it's deadly than the corona himself. So I don't expect this thing will finish until next year, 2022. The way things are going, because it's more deadly than the corona himself. So,
more deadly than the corona itself. Guess what, brother? There's gonna be one more deadly than the new strain too. That's just something.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's not like you're 100% correct. The reason that you see Africa is more the corona don't affect Africa. This is my take. I suspect maybe the food, because the proper food people eat over there as well. So it keep them stronger, and the weather environment. It's very hot. Like West Africa now is dry season. It's very, very hot. So I don't feel that this corona stuff will affect Africa as compared to America and Europe. I don't see that. Because right now things are
cool places here, colder places that is in Africa than
but I suspect it's the food, to be honest.
The food,
the food is check like people have more strong immune system compared to Europe, because most of the food that we consume is more of chemical. In Africa is more natural food, so There is a difference. But things are
Really
not
different.
easy. Yeah, things are not easy for us over here. It's very tough, to be honest. The
Well,
picture that, yeah, go ahead.
no,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Yeah.
No, there was a brother here just prior, early on in the show that he was stating about, he's a nurse and all, and he brought up some very valid points when it comes to COVID, where COVID likes
Yeah.
diabetes. And, a lot of the people that are sick are either had diabetes or, they are obese. And so we do know that viruses, when they do attack your body, um, or they begin to replicate in your body,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're not strong enough, it's time for you to move to the next dimension. And so we eat a Western diet. Everything's processed.
Yeah.
Everything is been extracted out of the natural foods. And
Food. Yeah.
here in Africa, in my experience, you do see the more of natural foods that are
Food.
coming
Yeah.
tree, foods that are not really being pumped with a lot of different, hormones and different things. So,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
diet, I'm quite sure, does play a part in it because of the fact that what the nurses and doctors I spoke with are saying who it really has an effect on.
Yeah, because like the case of America, when the corona started, they say they affect more of people that have underlying disease like diabetics or obese. But it's changing because even kids, because with this new strain don't even pick, even you're healthy. You see,
Yeah.
like 2 days ago, about almost 1,800 every day, thousand dead every day. So this thing will never, for me, I don't see that this one can finish until next year. Because like Africa, it look like, it's because some of the countries, I don't feel they have coronavirus. It's just like some of the government over there in Africa want to make money out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that because when he travel to Europe, you see the difference. It's like even the streets everywhere is quiet. You can't even go out. You see, because now
Wow.
we're already in lockdown, strict lockdown. Even the police, they caught you, they will fine you something like £500 instant. So the only thing that will make you go outside, like for food, some other stuff, but you don't go out like that.
Yeah.
It's very deadly. It's very deadly. It's not like before even now there is no joke, even the media. Because it's like what is happening in Europe, if they explain it properly, people start to pack their things running out of the continent. So it's like they want to hide things, but it's not possible because all the hospitals are already full with patients.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's very difficult. You guys are so lucky. Anything is like, let me say, God just say, oh, you know what? Just pack your things, go to Africa. But it's difficult the way things is going. It's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. It's not like
Yeah.
the pictures that you see on Al Jazeera, or maybe it's easy. It's not. It's not. Even as now I'm talking to you now, even the report is a blank picture they are showing us. So we just
Yeah.
have to pray, focus. Yeah, if we see way, yeah, we'll go back. But it's not easy. It's not.
Well,
It's very tough.
if you say it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is
Yeah.
when you say what it is. So,
Yeah.
I just say that, I think that there's just competition of who's got the sickest and the worst cases, and I know America likes to be number one in everything. Whether it's good or the bad, they want to be number one in everything. So they're going to push their numbers up to try to make it seem like they're worse off than everybody else in the country or the continent. But
Yeah, because the way things is going now, let me say, yeah, because America is big, but you can have the highest death rate for now in terms of percentage, because since January, when December last year, they discovered the new strain, because they don't want to come publicly and talk about it. It's only 2 days. Yesterday, the Prime Minister came on the media and make it public that it's deadly, so we should prepare.
Yeah.
But we are preparing, we're just praying if things goes well. But this is my opinion. I don't see that they can able to handle this situation. It's only God. And I don't see that.
Yeah. Well, hey man, I appreciate you calling in, Abdul. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on. You go ahead and have a good one.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you. Yeah?
Okay. All right. Take care, man. Hold your head down and your eyes up. Yeah, family, hey, rest of the country's out here, going on lockdown. He just said where he is over in the UK that they, have this new strand that's come along. And so, what are we going to do about it then? Okay, all right. Well, what are you going to do about it? If new strands are popping up in the UK and Africa is non-affected, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But Mr. Research, you're going to have to show, please, your face while you're sitting in the background before I let you on the platform, and we can go from there. All righty. Well, I'm about to let you in right now, so you can go ahead and recover if you so choose. There we go. All righty, Mr. Research, a.k.a. Saya Letre.
Ciela Trey. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. So I work on the financial side of medical. Let me just make this suggestion. We're all benefiting from Mother Nature and God. So while a lot of people have and I kind of scrolled back to see what other people were saying from the beginning. We have a great opinion on this this virus that's out of Wuhan, out of the Wuhan lab. But and we know this because General Chin got called out of retirement to go and fix it. So General Chin, a lady, got called out of retirement to go and fix it. And the first place she headed was the Wuhan lab. So I just think we got to be honest that a lot of people are not seeing deaths. I'm at a hospital. I see people come in shocked because they didn't believe, and they're gone in a month or gone in 6 months. I just think a lot of times people got to take stuff way more serious, and this melanated community got to take stuff serious. You don't have to believe in it. That's cool because everybody got their right. You don't even have to take the vaccine. Take the third vaccine or use your natural remedies. That's fine too. Because I use natural remedies. I don't take the vaccine. But whether or not, I just want everybody to be way serious about the fact that God and Mother Nature is protecting many of us. So let's not sneer at what's happening, because every year this virus, I first told my people about it in November. So people didn't even know till January or late December. I told my people in November because I watch international news.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not going to take the vaccine?
For a couple of reasons. So one, there was a report from a nurse on she had 2 cabinets she was dealing with. One cabinet, she would give it to the non-covered people, and one cabinet she would give to the covered people. Then I've been a politically astute guy since I saw Eazy-E go into the White House with sunglasses and his NWA cap, having dinner with President Bush. I realized that politically they pushed the black lady creator of Vaccine One out too fast. and that came across like a puppet show. Then they tried to back it up with people showing taking the vaccine. And then for whatever reason, they start saying, black people, we understand black people don't trust it. Well, why are you so focused on that? Okay. Now I'm not, I don't, so something is, then you came out with version 2, and then they're speculated to be version 3. So at this
I
point,
have to say this now.
go ahead.
If you know this and you know that's a game played, it's not COVID itself being played, because you said take COVID serious. And these are the same people who are reporting. You got the Faucis and these guys who are in the medical industry trying to squeeze out this vaccine because they're going to be set to make billions of dollars. So how can you take it serious by the information you just shared? How somebody to take COVID serious?
Because you're talking about the process of what America's doing. I'm talking about the virus itself. The virus itself is a forever modifying thing. And it's like every 4 months, this thing has changed. So
according to what they say, based upon what
okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I just work in medical, so I see people in ICU. I see non-believers. Okay. I see non-believers in ICU. So
let me just tell people, my wife is going to hate me for this. I got to do this. My wife is a physician. Okay. All right. My wife is a physician. So that makes me credible. All right. So I want to say that because some people always she's going to be like, oh, it's okay, love. It's okay. All right. We did videos back then. We pulled them. That's all right. It's cool. Because if I'm having conversations like that, then and people are going to wonder why am I saying things that why am I saying?
True.
So
true.
To show that, look, I'm married to a woman who's been in the field for almost 25 years. All right. She's dealt with a lot of sicknesses and have a lot of patients and things that she deals with. She's also dealing with the COVID thing that with her patients and stuff like that. I have other people that I know that are physicians. My thing is just right here, like what you said. There are things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people just don't know. And there's a lot of things I'm not going to say that I'm not going to disclose that, is just no place for it. But you're saying in one breath, you got to take this serious. But then on the other breath, from the same people
process
who was giving the report, because you're saying, okay, I'm talking about the process, and you're talking about the what?
Virus itself.
The virus itself. Okay. They're the ones, the virus it has, to me, this is just how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
The virus encapsulates everything. The virus has the so-called change of the economy. It has the vaccine layered on top of that. It has all these other entities that are involved with the virus. The virus has stimulated a lot of different things, and a lot of people are playing off of it.
True.
Especially when you're talking about the medical field. Because yes, we could sit here and say, well, you better take the virus serious. Well, you know what? A virus is a virus is a virus all day long. Now, some people say, well, hold up. This type of virus has an effect on more people. Effect on who? More people. Like what other virus that doesn't have an effect on? A virus has an effect on, people. It has an effect on people. So all I'm saying is this right here, is that why is it that through all the teachings, through science, and we understand viruses and bacteria and molds and all these other things that play a part in our ecosystem that could be devastating, that we now make it seem like it's just this big boogeyman that just popped out of nowhere that's now just killing folk left and right, and y'all shutting down countries and all that right here. When I know and Africa, it shocked the world, and why it has not affected what it has. Why is Europe and them making this whole thing out greater than what it is to me? Why is it that I'm being told? 2 doctors told me in Kenya they're finagling the numbers. There's 2 doctors told me this. I would not lie and make up any stories, right? There are doctors in America who has come forth who said this right here is not true. What this virus is, it ain't what they're telling you what it is. These are doctors who are coming out with this. saying this. So you got two sides of the houses. Who do you believe now?
Okay, so GBA, let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This goes to why when I talk about things that are related to Africa, for example, people hate when I do it because I'm talking about documented historical evidence, and people will say, "Why are you going back that far?" Because it's relevant to today. So what you just did is similar. When you look
Not
at,
really, Mr.
oh,
Research.
let me put my evidence, sir. Let me put my evidence, sir. Let the people decide. Let the people decide.
Please name your resources too. Please name your sources. Go ahead.
Okay. When you look at the diseases that came out the bathhouses of Rome, when you look at the French Black Plague, when you looked at the pig epidemic, these were things at the time that never touched Africa more so, and had to do with their cleanliness, had to do with a lot of factors. But we found out half a century later in detail what those complexities were. What I suggest to you is we're at the same time period. We're at the same time period. We do know this, and this is why I mentioned General Chen. And people hate the fact that I mentioned General Chen. What does that have to do with it? Well, if you research General Chen, you would know. But if Wuhan lab screwed up, it was not a meat market. There's an actual super lab out there, and they screwed up. This is a man-made situation. And within 4 months, this thing went from blood to air to, it just kept changing. And even when you look at what happened in Colorado, we in medical tend to call it COVID-22. When you look at what happened in Colorado, that's why they had such a spike, because it changed again. I will concede that you may be right of 98% of what you say. But what I'm trying to show is the people in Africa never really got affected by a lot of those other prior viruses and diseases. And that what we need to be careful of is every year, this thing may keep changing. And you got to understand, Mother Nature is trying to fight back. Mother Nature does not like when people cross-pollinate. She tried to tell people that during the time of the pig diseases. She doesn't like when people cohabitat in closed areas. She tried to tell people that during the Black Plague. Those are my sources.
Hey, let me ask you this right here. Are you married to a
you know what I said. You about to say it. Go ahead. You might as well say it.
No, I was saying because you're talking about cross, pollinating.
Exactly.
Does that also mean as far as a black marrying a black?
Oh, you know what? Let's go with the whole thing. When you look back in the time of Blackamoors, okay, you had 3 different versions of Moors. The Blackamoors were given that name because those were the dark-skinned soldiers. You didn't have too many princes and kings. You had maybe 1 or 2 that were dark. All the other one was of Arab, Moorish, or Pakistani Moorish descent. Because when you look at their lineage, it always leads back to those countries. The Blackamoors had a different definition. So when it comes to marrying and things of that nature, you love who you love. I love romance. I personally love dark, super dark women. But I think that people, I think people kind of, well, because what's happening is a lot of people are not appreciating each other. It takes a lot to conform yourself and your identity to another human being. And some people are taking that for granted and they're wagging their finger. And I, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I love love. So,
I feel you on that, brother. Hey, I appreciate you, Mr. Research, man.
Thank you, sir.
Good combo, and hey, you take care, all right?
All right, we'll check you on the next one.
All right now. Mr. Albany.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm doing good. About yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. I kind of was enjoying that brother, bro. He pretty much, thinks like me. I mean, what I was gonna say is, as Black people, we don't have anything to lose by just kind of taking heat. You see what I'm saying? there's nothing. All we got to do is apply some of the precautionary measures and stay safe and try to stay safe. I mean, we've got plenty of reasons to want to stay alive. I mean, anyways, we've got families, we've got different things that are motivating us. I mean, even I know they've tried really hard to politicize the virus. I mean, we had one of the most powerful men in the world that didn't even believe in it, and guess what? He caught coronavirus and got treatment that many of us may never have access to, and got out in few days. Does that mean corona doesn't exist? No, he just has access to. I mean, there were like 5-6 doctors checking on one man. Nurses were there, doctors were like on standby 24/7, and they were trying experimental drugs on him. I mean, not all of us have access to that kind of treatment. So I mean, to me, I don't think there's corona is real. I mean, I don't need to prove it to anybody. You just got to believe it, and kind of like how I've been doing over the years, just take that extra caution and keep yourself and your family safe. And then the other thing I was going to talk about, like with Africa, right? I'm an African, right? We got a lot of things. I bet you saw that you started seeing that after your visits to Africa. Africans are very unique people. I mean, they don't have. You see how people are so happy with the leader they got, and how so your psyche is one thing, right? Like in the medical field, they will tell you, hey man, you can take all this medication and all that, but once you've got this depressed state of mind, that's like 50% of your cure comes from that, right? So as much as you want to take your medication, you also want to have a healthy way of thinking as well. Like, you've got to be positive. The other day we were talking about hope, right? Hope is what makes you get up in the morning, go hustle. You invest. You're in Africa right now. You wanna invest in something. You hope that investment will turn out good. So it's a motivation. It's something that keeps you going. If you leave without hope, man, what's the point? You see what I'm saying? So Africans, they're uniquely positioned. I mean, we're talking about, we live in a tropical area. I know there's some cold places in Africa and all that. And have you ever thought about the amount of rainfall and sunshine Africa gets? So we're talking about, you see, in China, right? When this whole thing started, we saw how they were fumigating and doing all those things to disinfect like the land. Guess what? In Africa, that came naturally, because right after like a heavy rainfall, guess what comes? Sunshine. And that does the disinfection for us naturally. It washes and dries. I mean, do you know what heat does to the DNA of a virus? It denatures it. Just like with proteins and everything, once you apply heat, it changes the molecular state and turns it kills it basically by altering the molecular state of that virus or whatever.
Well, I would say this right here. That's what we were told, and then that story changed. The story changed because they were waiting. America was waiting for the summer last year, and then they said the numbers climb back up, so it can't be about the heat.
No. It's a collection, right? So we're talking about that. That is in vitro. I'm talking about something that is happening outside of the cell now, right? And outside of the system, you cannot focus that amount of heat inside any living thing. It will die. Definitely, it will do more damage than you anticipated. So I'm just thinking about what happens. So I'm comparing what China does to what, hey, I'm on the phone, to what happens naturally in Africa. That's one. And then you got to look at the other thing too, which is your diet. Man, there was one of your shows I watched the other day, right? That was talking about, oh, you don't see a lot of vegetables and all that. Man, if till I came to the US, right? I didn't know potato was classified a part of vegetable. It never was in growing up. But in America, it's different. Africans consume a lot of vegetable. It comes through the leaves. It's got iron. It's got all this stuff. And then they do that, and then they don't have a lot of gyms like they do in the West. But guess what? Not everybody drives over there. You know, people walk to work, you know, actually walk to their workplace. So that's some serious exercise right there. In Rwanda, people like they're so used to climbing those hills, and you don't even realize how much, you know, energy is being burnt, how much calories is being burnt doing that. You know, just because you don't have gym membership doesn't mean you're not working out. And then you look at their structure too, like these guys are just naturally built. So 24/7 work is being done on their system, and they're eating right. And then, you know, they've got all this, you know, immunity that they're building from, you know, all this, bacteria and all that. I'll give you an example, real quick, Go Black.
You got 1 minute, brother.
All right, yeah, I'll make it real quick, and I'm gonna stick around too. My daughter, right? So my daughter, you know, I'm from a family where we had no allergies like growing up. So I had my first child in the U.S. came up with some allergies. So I was like, what's all this? This is new to like my family line. How could I not be able to give my daughter milk and all of this stuff because she's allergic? Man, I've never heard of that thing coming from Africa, right? We don't react to anything. We eat everything. So it was kind of weird. And I got talking with this doctor, right? And he told me, yeah, in America, right? You know, everything is it's put through, like all the food and everything is put through like some sort of system that disinfects, that it gets rid of all the, I'll say, I don't want to say disease causing, but it got rid of all the kind of triggers that a child typically gets when he's in the mother's womb. So it does make sense, because if you think of the vegetables we eat, like what we call spinach here, right? It's in a bag. Do you know how many processes these things have gone through, and how they've even modified the structure from, you're talking about DNA modification and engineer, DNA engineering and all of this stuff, you know, genetically modified product and all. So they've already started changing the structures of this food from the planting stage. So the mom doesn't have opportunity, even when she's pregnant, to like to put the baby through some shock that a typical African woman would, you know, like when I bet my mom ate everything. Do you know how we eat spinach in Africa, bro? It comes straight from the farm. It doesn't go through no.
You got 10 seconds, brother.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep quiet and listen. But that's just where I'm going with this, man. You know, there's a lot of things we're missing, but I think Africa is just uniquely blessed. But we shouldn't take it for granted, because this thing is real. That's all I gotta say. Mute.
Appreciate the Almany man for you hearing from you again. You can stick around. We got our sister Anja, Africa. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me take you off mute. What's up, sister?
Not much. I'm back in the U.S. and I'm very unhappy. So I don't know if any of you know my channel, but I just came back from the continent. I took my son, who is 18 years old, and we were in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Gambia. We just got back on the 10th of January. And I'm listening to the brother, and I'm like, everything he said is absolutely true. One of my biggest issues was that I was going to lose my tan as soon as I got back here. And it's so true. The sun is what makes Africa thrive. And I don't think people realize that, right?
Yeah.
The heat and the sun controls disease. It nourishes. It gives you all the nutrients you need. And we as a people don't have that in the States. Even when you live in areas, that's it. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I was a vegetarian for like 20 years, and they would tell me you have low iron and you have vitamin D deficiency. So I'm taking all these alternative supplements to make up for that. So when I'm listening to the brother talk, I'm like, he's absolutely right. That is the difference. But whoever doesn't believe that COVID is real, y'all better wake up, because my people are in New York. COVID is a pandemic. Period. It is for depopulation, and it is aimed at the Black community. Unfortunately, they got caught up in it too. That wasn't really the plan. right? But when you're
Yeah.
talking about depopulation of a country, you don't really care who it hits because your aim is to get the numbers down. And that's why the elderly and people with underlying issues are succumb to the disease. But I'm hearing family members left and right are dropping from COVID. And some people are saying, oh, it's just a flu. You could call it what you want, but it's taken on so many different strains that is really out of their control. So all of these people who fall for the hype about getting a vaccine, I'm like, more power to you, because that's just another part of the depopulation. If they don't even know what it is, how can you create a vaccine for it? And why is that vaccine aimed at our communities? They're more affected by it than we are. And we all know if it was good, they would not be giving it to us.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line.
Well, you know, and you hit on some great points because, you know, here it is that I hear the conversations, you know, one minute we want to talk about don't trust the government, but then the next minute you're like, well, you know, they doctors and scientists, they should know. And I'm saying, and that's why my point I was trying to make to Mr. Research was, all right, Mr. Research, you saying we need to take this serious, but then on the other breath, you saying that they got different vials in one cabinet for certain groups and they got this for other people. Well, what is in them vials then? Those vials, what they're giving those people who look like us and then giving to the staff or whatever, what is that? You know, so what do you supposed to believe? Who are you supposed to believe?
Well, here in the States, I'm in Pennsylvania. You know, I'm in Pennsylvania and they dropping like flies. They giving it to first responders. They're having adverse reactions. Some of them are dying from it. People are being paralyzed. So it's like, my thing is, if y'all want to test it on humans, you go ahead and use them. I'm going to sit back and watch until you figure out whatever it is you're going to do. I'll be moving to the continent in June. So I hope they figure it out for those folks who want it, but I will be taking a pass on that. And I've already told my son, if they try to make you get vaccine for any job, it's time for you to come join me on the continent. Do not do it. I would not recommend that to anybody.
What
you know,
country
quite
did you
seriously.
decide to move to? Everybody gonna want to know
It
what
was very difficult. You know, I did my African ancestry and my people came back 100% Mende from Sierra Leone. My mom is Gullah Geechee and my dad is from Barbados. So I was like, oh, Sierra Leone has my heart. That's where I'm going. But I got to Gambia. I don't know. The people in Gambia kind of won me over. They are so kind and so loving. So now some business opportunities came up in Gambia. So I'm going to be between Gambia and Sierra Leone since they're only like an hour or so apart by air.
Are you getting your citizenship there in Sierra Leone?
I am going to apply. I attempted to apply when I went in December. It was right before they had the ceremony, so it couldn't be done that quickly. But it's fine. I'm not going there for citizenship. I'm just going to kind of get to know the continent, you know, learn my heritage, my culture, and go from there.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Now, have you been? You look very familiar. Have you? Which YouTuber shows have you been on?
I actually have my own now, and I've done about 200 videos, so you might have seen me popping up on the screen. But I've been on Living My Best Life in Ghana, Bijou Noir, Happy Companion, Global Green Book just did an interview. I just interviewed with her about a week ago because, you know, she's right there in the capital where they had the riots. So, yeah. You remember at the Capitol when I think it was like January 5th when they had all of these, I don't use the word, I'm going to say 2520s bust into the Capitol when they did their little nonsense. She works next. There's nothing supreme about them. So I never use that term, but she works right next to the Capitol. And she was kind of concerned about, you know, just being safe. And I invited her to come to PA and we had a little session, so you might have seen me on her channel, but I'm not going to stay any longer. I just had to chime in. I wanted to thank you for I love what you're doing with your channel. I've been following you from the beginning. Blessings to you and your family, and I'll keep following.
All right, and I'm going to, hey, y'all, your name of your channel is?
It's Anja Africa.
Okay, straight up your name
Yep.
you got there. Okay,
Yes.
all right, y'all check her out. Most definitely. Thank you. All righty. We have Brother Ben here. Can you hear me? You got yourself on mute, Ben. All
Hi.
righty. How you
Sorry.
doing?
not
All
not
right.
used to the not used to the this is the first time I've ever done this kind of stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. What you got
So
to share with us here today as far as the COVID or whatever?
well, the first thing was the question was, how has COVID affected you?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get used to this because there's a bit of a time lapse. But anyway, generally it's been okay for me. I'm in the UK. I'm in Birmingham, the Midlands of the UK, and as you've spoken to people from the UK, is we in lockdown. Unfortunately for me, the situation was that I was just about my plan had been in the next 2 weeks to come back to Tanzania, because I was in Tanzania last year, and I loved it. I was trying. Unfortunately, my visit at that time was reduced by other issues. But anyway, I had intended to be in Tanzania and then go to Zanzibar. The year before, I was in Kenya. Originally, right? Obviously, if you look at me, you can see I'm mixed race. My father is an Englishman from Sheffield in the UK. My mother is a Shona woman from Zimbabwe. That's my background. Okay.
Yeah.
And my intention has been for about 3 or 4 years, maybe even more than that, of returning back to the African continent. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I've been trying to find the right place in Africa where I can go and do what I do as a living, which is I'm a developer, a web developer, very specialized in education, well, education software, online. Sorry, hold on a minute. Get rid of that. Anyway, so the point is that generally for me, for COVID, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, okay. You disappeared. I've got two different things going on. I've got you on TV and I've got you on my phone.
Go ahead, I hear you.
Yeah, okay. So generally what it has been is that the whole situation with COVID for me in the UK hasn't been too bad, because I've been basically working from home for the last 6 or 7 years, maybe even 8 years.
Okay.
So
okay.
The fact that you can't go out and whatever you hasn't really affected me that badly. Okay. But my intention has always been for me to return back to Africa and do something different in Africa. Okay. And I've been listening to the conversation, and I've been following you for, well, probably a few weeks now. And there's something about the way you are presenting Africa to people who've never grown up or never lived in Africa that kind of resonates with me more than I have. I've watched quite a few people who, people from America, especially, that are talking about how things are in Africa and whatever. And for me, there's this, I'm not like trying to make you feel any better, but all I'm trying to say is that there's something about the way you present Africa that is kind of different from a lot of people that I watch on YouTube who are trying to present Africa, right? Like I
Okay,
said, I'm mixed
appreciate
race,
that.
but
Yeah,
sorry.
I said I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been watching you, and I love Tanzania. Honestly, of the places I've been, and I've been to Zambia when I was a kid, so I can't really remember that. Zimbabwe is where my roots are. I grew up there. I actually came to the UK when I was already an adult. I had already had my firstborn. My firstborn was well, my firstborn was born. If you say that, but anyway, my firstborn was born when I came to the UK, and the main reason I came to the UK was to actually get an education. I was coming here, get my degree in computers, because somehow I had actually been actually started with computers, with a little spectrum, what. I'm not going to get too technical, but anyway, my intention was to come to learn computing, IT, and whatever. You go back to Zimbabwe, open a business, and start something there, right?
Yeah,
Things didn't work out the way I planned. So by the time, and if I was honest, and if I had the means to, I probably would have returned to Africa within 5 years of arriving here. I really did not like living here. I didn't like it because it felt so foreign. So even though my dad was an Englishman, right? We never ever communicated with the English side of the family and whatever. And that's another I could do a whole video about Europeans who moved to Africa and never went back. And there's a very good reason that a lot of them didn't go back. But anyway, to cut the story short, is that I never got to the position where I was in a position to move back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got to the stage where a few years, about 8 years later, after I moved back, I did actually go back home, which is Zimbabwe, and then things had changed so massively, and it's not about politics or whatever. It's about the way people had changed.
All right,
In terms
hey Ben,
of, like, they had taken up the concept of make as much.
1 minute left.
Sorry? Am I talking too much?
Yeah, I was saying you got 1 minute left. I'm trying to curtail it down to 5
Okay.
minutes.
So the point that I was trying to raise is that I think the COVID situation is very much different in Africa than it is in Europe, and I think the kind of exposure that people growing up in Africa and whatever has made them a little bit more resilient. Maybe not a little bit more resilient, but a much more resilient to what's happening right now. Now, people say South Africa is bad, but South Africa, if you look at the problem that they have in South Africa, it's the part of South Africa that's got more of a Mediterranean climate than the central part of Africa. So you have a situation whereby the Mediterranean, more cooler climate and whatever is actually a part of the whole situation. I wish I could have spoken more. Maybe I spoke too much, but I tell you what, it's a pleasure to have spoken to you. It's a pleasure that you let me come in. And you know what? All of us are rooting for Africa. And Tanzania, my hands are up. I'm like, I need to get back there. I wish I had made it just in time.
Well, I appreciate you coming in right here. Tanzania is definitely waiting on you. Get in where you fit in at. So hopefully to see you here one day. You take care, brother.
Definitely. Thank you. Bye.
All righty. So, family, we're here. We are going to go ahead and close it on down. I've been here 2 hours and 4 minutes, and I hope that each and every one of you all, whether you're affected in a good way or a negative way with COVID, that somehow those who are still feeling the pain, maybe the sting, may have lost some loved ones, lost jobs, lost, just encounter losses, that keep your head up, that, hey, always a new day coming. There's always opportunities coming your way. So that's just a word of encouragement to you all. But at least we do know life continues. Life situations will be thrown at us. I hope that we all have learned from this situation, that have some countries, some continents have responded in different ways. Whether you believe it or not, whether COVID exists or don't exist, and in fact finagling numbers or whatever it may be, I'm going to say that take care of yourself when it comes to the health side, so that your body is strong enough to help the thing that was put here on the universe or in the ecosystem in the first place, to eradicate weakness. Weakness has no place in the ecosystem, because the weakness will cause more to fall than for those to prosper and grow. So the stronger you are, the stronger you be, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So go ahead and build your spirituality, build your physicality, as well as build your mentality, because more days are coming down the road. As you heard people testimony today, there have been those who said they have prospered during the COVID virus. They have moved beyond what they ever would have believed, and taken leaps of faith in order to encounter and embark on new adventures of life. That's a beautiful thing, that, hey, even during the toughest times, there are those people who are willing to jump out there and try. These are opportunities that are. For those who know that COVID has shut you in, locked you down, you have a greater opportunity to be with your kids, your wife, your husband, your family members, while you're in the house, getting to know, coming up with ideas on how to survive this situation. And also those who might be in countries that are encountering the lockdown, or have curfews and stuff. It also gives you an opportunity to even venture out and find maybe those places that are treating this whole virus differently. Always sit on the sidelines and watch and listen. And as I'm here in Tanzania, I will be reporting that information to each and every one of you all on what is going on here in Tanzania. And so whether it's the good, the bad, or the indifferent, I shall be reporting, because I believe the most accurate information makes a more wiser and smarter person. And so I will not try to play around with this platform that I have to, try to play one side against another, or try to build one and tear down another. That is not my intent. My intent is to expose each African country, just to give you a taste. Hopefully it will prick your mind to be doing your research, so that you can decide which country you would love to visit. And for those who are really serious and wanting to come to Africa, which country would be that for you to move to. So I say that. Thank you for each and every one of you who financially gave, for those who have given your time, and those who have also shared my videos with others who may be in a place of curiosity, wanting to have other options in life to maybe go visit or move into another place. I am here in the continent of Africa on the ground. So I am keeping my ears close to the ground with the people, the locals, as well as my eyes open, watching what goes on, so that I can give you all a true story. So with that, this is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. So, hey, enjoy your day, your evening, your morning, wherever you may be. And with that, I will see you tomorrow.